Hello, hello. Welcome back to another installation of What Would Lou Do? A little bit of excitement there for you guys. Today we are having a peek at Lou, wink wink, P365, the Sig Sauer P365. And believe me, it ain't sour grapes. This is the Coyote NR edition. First of all, we're looking at the case. I mean, it's nothing extravagant, but it has good sturdy snaps. You see it's got their Sig Sauer on there. So I do appreciate them having a case. It shows a lot more care and consideration and thought went into putting this together rather than just slapping a label on a box and throwing your items in there, So I do appreciate that. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's just open her up and see what we got here on. Ta-da! Alrighty. There she is, the P365 and Coyote and all her glory. So what all comes with this kit? Well, obviously you get the P365, you get 3 mags, you get 2 10s and 1 12. The 110 is flush fit, which means it goes straight across here. This one has a pinky extension, which is the one that I like to carry. And then this one with the 12 round, it makes it more like the P365 XL. It extends this grip quite a bit. So it comes with those 3 mags. It also comes with this commemorative coin, NRA, which don't give a smack about that. And then also there is some literature which we need to get out to have a look at. And of course the lock. That's everything you get in the box. So now that we've seen everything that's in the box, let's take out, and obviously it doesn't come with this ammo. That's my ammunitions. Thank you very much. So we're going to take everything out of here except for the coin. I didn't open it or anything. First things first, I want to tell you guys about the manual is awfully thin. Now, why that is basically you see here, you scan this and you get a PDF file, which I gotta say is kind of smart on their end because that allows them to be able to spend less money on printing and you just download it to your phone. That's the manual or lack thereof. So congratulations on your purchase. Now that you own it, you need some 6-hour ammunition. They have a current deal going on, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So P365, it shows you, some of the accessories that you can get with it. An NRA pin, which again, don't give a smack about. A little Stoker, got old Stoker on it. And then we get to this 200 round ammo package. To the end of this year, you have the opportunity to get this deal here. And what it is, basically you sign up with the USCCA. My wife and I both did this because I bought this P365 9mm and we got her the rose. That being 380, we wound up basically getting her 400 rounds of 380 because I had a good bit of 9mm tucked away. And so what comes with this deal is this little ammo bag. And I do have the bag right here. So this is the little bag that comes with it. It is drawstring. That's the only thing I thought was crap about it. I thought at least it would have a zipper, but it has like a little label here for you to like put your name or something in. But yeah, it's nothing special, but it is just a little pouch for you to carry your stuff in, and obviously advertise their products. And then you get 150 rounds of practice ammo, ball ammo, and then you get 50 rounds of defensive ammo. So anyone going to do this, the only caveat is that if you sign up for the USCCA, you have to be the member for a year, otherwise there's a cancellation fee. I forget what that cancellation fee is, but I believe it was $250. If not, I will put the actual amount on the screen. But so that's something to keep in mind if you think, I'll just sign up for the free ammo and the baggie and then I'll cancel it. It's going to cost you a little bit more than that. The USCCA, my primary interest in it is the legality side to it. It provides you with a defense attorney if you should ever have to discharge your your weapon in a self-defense situation, as long as you are not doing some sort of illegal activities. It takes care of all your attorney fees and all those things. But aside from that, the website itself is full of just training videos and courses, different perks. Like once you sign up with them, you get like 20% off of Sig Sauer products. Hey, that actually looks kind of cool. The way it was like that looks like a comic. You get like 20% off of their stuff. You get deals with holsters, different things relating to this realm, right? So really cool program, insurance, I guess, if you want to call it that. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll have a link in the description that you can follow, even if you don't have this deal here. Also, once you sign up, you can get your spouse half off. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description to where you can get to that. That is everything. Got the old boring stuff out of the way. But yeah, I just figured I would show you guys, that offer, because that is a pretty good deal. But again, if it's not for you, then it's not for you. So first things first, let me get some technical informations. Okay, so unloaded, no magazine. We are looking at 15.6 ounces, so right at a pound. You put the empty mag in, 18 ounces, and then loaded. This is the 10 round. This is not the 12. The 12 would be heavier, obviously. That brings it up to 22.3 ounces. Now let's take some measurements. The slide length, it's like a 1/16 away from 5 3/4, so just a tad over 5.5 inches. Width, just a hair over 3/4 of an inch. Barrel length is 3 inches and a 1/16. Length this way. With a mag. I like to put a mag in that way because you're gonna obviously have a magazine in it. Just a hair over 3 3/4 of an inch. Pretty good dimensions for everything. These are not full size. These are what they consider micro 9s because they're the ultra small. And I really like these. They can be what a lot of people refer to as snappy. I actually don't find that to be the case with this one. Okay, so take a look at the old Pistola here and all her beauty. I really like this color scheme. We are empty. We've got nothing in here, right? So now we're just going to talk about it. Like I said, really love the color scheme. This is the first one I've ever got like this. This is a bad little Pistola right here, boy. It's really compact. It fits really nice in the hand, especially with this on. Now this one, my pinky hangs off a little bit, so this was definitely the backup. It would probably go this, and then this as a last resort. While I'm thinking about it, we'll just go ahead and show you what they all look like. So let's just do it in order. All right, so that's what it would look like if you just used the flush fit mag. And then obviously you saw with this one. Right, and that one closed up a little better because there wasn't a round in it. Here's the other one. Right, and you can see how much it extends that grip for you. Right, so now it's actually past my pinky. I don't exactly like this one because it reminds me of an axe handle. And it's just aesthetics, as far as functionality, it works just the way it should. Very comfortable as well. It is good to be able to have a 12-round capacity on something so small. So if you're counting, there'll be 12 plus 1, that comes to 13. The grip texture is very nice. It's very grippy. It's on par with, I would say, like the Shield Plus. It is one of those that if you took your knuckle and really just went back and forth, it does take off a little bit of skin. You can see my skin dust there now. If the grip is too coarse, you could easily just take like a Scotch pad and just kind of knock that down a little bit, because that way it wouldn't take off a lot of material, but it would just take down the fine lines. But I would just barely go over it. But to me, it's perfectly fine. I really like the way that it feels. So definitely another major win over the old glaucoma grips. I hate their grips. It's terrible. It's basically non-existent. Another thing that a lot of people usually don't think about is the guide rod here is metal, so that adds a little more weight and helps to cut down on recoil a little bit, because anything you can do to add weight here, that keeps it from flying back. But as a result, it does make it a little bit heavier than some of the other models. Controls are all very easy to get to. This is takedown lever, slide release, slide stop, whatever you want to refer to it as. It's a bit more on the stiff side. There is a sort of certain operation that makes this more or less difficult. While it's pulled back with an empty magazine, it's pretty hard. It's not impossible, but it is stiff. But if you take the mag out, it's very easy. Like if you lock it up yourself, you just pop it down. But for some reason with a mag in there, I guess it's putting more tension up on there. It is harder to do. Just not as hard as what the Shield Plus is if you do it out of sequence, but just one thing I thought I should mention there. The mag release, it doesn't protrude as much as some of them do. I find myself kind of having to, especially with the grip extension, I find myself having to kind of open my hand in a way, like I can't just do like this because it literally stops the mag from coming out. It could be a little more pronounced, and it is not ambidextrous. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe you can swap that around. And as far as what everyone's wondering, the trigger, how is the trigger? So we're going to check this thing again to see, make sure it's not loaded. All right, here we go. Go to the wall, right there. Not a lot of travel to the wall, right? And then, boom. Not quite a crisp break, and not exactly a short reset either, but defined wall. Roll, and then reset. Compared to my Shield Plus, it's not as good as that. But as far as firing with it, I'm not sure why a lot of people refer to it as so snappy, because to me, it has a lot less recoil than some of the other ones that I've fired. Bigger models, actually. So it might be more subjective than objective. Slide serrations up front and back. So if you like to go through the front or the back, I usually go over the back, as long as you get it pulled back, I guess, Takedown is pretty easy. So you just pop it up and then push this lever down and let it go, and it comes right off. You don't have to pull the trigger with this model. So a lot of people like that. Some people are afraid to pull the trigger, but I'm like, dude, if you don't have anything in there, what's the problem? Speaking of don't have anything in there, you have basically two chamber indicators, right? You've got right there. So if you look down in there while you have a round in there, you'll see that nice shiny brass or steel if that's your thing. But also here, there's a little bit of a gap and you can see, but I don't rely on those. I just like to pull it back. You might think you see something that you don't. I don't know. It's just a safer option. Accessory rail here, proprietary rail. I think a weaver's rail is another name I've heard referred to as, but anyway, a light rail, right? Because that's basically what you put on here. You could put a laser as well, but usually they have the combos. So it does have that. Always good that you have those. Smart engineers like Streamlight and people, they've made it to where they don't even need to utilize this. They'll just wrap it around the trigger, So that's a good innovation on them. Here you can see it comes with tritium night sights. These sights are very nice. You can see them glowing there, right? And then this one, right there, bright green, very easy to catch your eye. Very nice sights. They are metal. They are not plastic like old glaucoma does. So that is definitely most appreciated. Here's a look at the other side. Also same serrations. Serial number lives in here. I cover that up for these videos because the man don't need to see that, neither do you. Definitely one of my favorites. Now, I've not started carrying this every day yet. I still need more time to test it and everything. But yeah, unfortunately, after 2 weeks of having it, I did this damage here. The holster that I had purchased for it had some sort of debris inside of it, and I didn't clean it out beforehand, and I stuck it in and right down the side. So, oh, my poor beauty. I'm probably going to try to match this paint as best as I can and just fill that little spot in instead of getting the whole slide redone, because something has to be done about that, because you can see it went down to the bare metal and that will rust, especially if I start carrying it. You know, it starts getting warm and moist in there. Yeah. So the holster I currently have for it right now is this Warriorland holster. I did some editing to it, folded the ends because it stuck out a little too much for me. It was like 1/4 of an inch of wasted material. I also stuck this claw on here, and now you see you've got enough room to get in there and pull it out. There are plenty of options as far as holsters go. Also, another thing that I have that I put on here, this TLR6 Streamlight here. I'll do a review on this. No, it doesn't come this color, unfortunately. It's only black, which is fine if you have the black version, but to my eye, I just didn't like it with the rest of the color scheme. So I went and got one Cerakoted. It didn't cost me much, like $40 for the Cerakote, that is. The light itself was like $75, but so there's a lot of different options and a lot of different customizations you can do to this. But main thing I caution is like the trigger. If you're going to get the trigger from Sig themselves, then by all means, because I was actually thinking of upgrading this trigger with the flat, but after watching a lot of comparison videos, a lot of people they couldn't notice any difference except for the feel. And conversely, actually a lot of people said that they actually preferred this trigger over the flat face. I've not had any experience with it. If you guys have, compared this trigger with this trigger on this model now, not the P365 and then the P320, the 365, have you experienced with the curved and the flat? Are there any differences other than you just like the way it feels and looks? And so, what are my thoughts on this overall? My thoughts are, I love it. This is one of my favorites that I own. I don't know, something about this color scheme, I just really enjoy it. At price point, you can find this on sale for $6. Maybe a little cheaper depending on where you're going, but yeah, right around $600 is what I've seen this for. But yeah, whether you get this one or the black version, they are the same in 9mm, that is. The 380 is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little smaller in certain sections, and I'll obviously take a smaller cartridge. Overall, highly recommend this Pistola because you get the benefit of the concealability. It has a high capacity, right? So this one's 12 plus 1, right? That gives you 13 versus Glock, which the 43X, which is only 10. Those 2 extra rounds might make all the difference. You just don't know, especially if you're not someone that goes and trains a lot. You may miss. I mean, because when you're talking about a piece of paper that just sits there on a cardboard cutout, it's fine and dandy to sit there and hit it at 7 yards. But when that thing is running or moving, then you know what I mean? So you want to have the highest capacity that you can without having to sacrifice the concealability, right? Because everyone's always talking about a Glock 19, but the Glock 19, man, is like extremely long. Well over an inch more of material that you're going to have down in your pelvis. I mean, it's just not comfortable. But they're very comfortable to carry, especially in the waistband. I do in the waistband appendix carry, and I can bend and stoop and run and sing and dance and laugh and play, all that good stuff, and it doesn't bother me. Versus when I was trying to carry that gargantuan 19, if I stooped down to do anything, like just working on my vehicle or something, I had to take that thing off because it was like, not good. But yeah, so if you are looking for something easily concealable, high capacity, ergonomic. I mean, it's a very ergonomic. Everything's nice and right where you need it, nice and neat. Looks very nice. I love the way that this looks. One thing I probably would change, it hits on the meaty part of my hand. Like I have to do a whole hand movement in order to get this thing to pop right out and not be hindered by anything. That's one thing I would change. Otherwise, I think it is a sweet deal. It's a sweet pew stoler to add to your collection, your rotation, even for your EDC. Like I said, you get great sights, you get great grip texture, easy pull trigger. Like I said, I didn't see a lot of recoil to it. You get a rail, you get 3 magazines. I mean, what else really could you ask for? I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. So if you found this video helpful, we ask that you strike that like, smell that bell, subscribe and vibe with us. Make us feel all appreciated and whatnot, because we appreciate you guys for watching. As we always say, seek the Lord while they may be found, and call upon him while he is near, because he is near unto those that be of a broken heart, and save such that be of a contrite spirit. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. He resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. So cast yourself down before him, and he will exalt you. Until next time, take care and God bless.